Welcome, welcome. We can finally sit here with you guys, and the embargo has been lifted. Now we can make a movie review to all you good people for It Chapter 2. We have had to sit and suffer in silence to let you know if this is a film that we can tell you about. Oh, and do we want to tell you about it? So bad. Now, it's 27 years later. It is returning. This is non-spoilers for anybody that's out there. We're not going to spoil the movie. Okay, we're just going to give you a sense of what this film is about. If you read the book, you basically know this story. Okay, a lot of it is basically the same as the book. So you're not really losing a lot there, including the opening sequence. And, you know, that LGBT, boy, they love to get involved and do their part, boy. Now, I was able to take a lot of this film more than I did the first one. Pennywise to me wasn't utilized as enough in this film like he should have been. No, it is longer than the first one. It's 3 hours long. I kid you not. This movie's 3 hours long. Yep, so they're pulling an Avengers. And it doesn't need to be 3 hours long. You feel the time in this movie. And I think that's one of the drawbacks. You really feel the time. They got a lot of scenes in the movie that are flashbacks. A lot of people didn't like that. I didn't mind the flashbacks. It just was a bit of a distraction at some point because it never really meant anything. It was just a way to implement the young actors that was in the first It into the new It. That's it. It really served no purpose of having the flashbacks. It was just showing you scenes that was in the first one that I'm like, then why didn't we see that in the first It movie? That would make sense. So they all have to reunite to come back to Derry to once again fight Pennywise. That's the mission. Mike is the only guy that stayed in town. And I will tell you this, because it's not a spoiler, but the guy that played Mike, the guy that stayed in the town, the black guy, and I'm staying in town, I'm Mike. You know, this is what I had a problem with. In the first movie, they gave the role of the guy who was in the library doing all the research, and all of these things went to a different actor altogether. The guy that played Ben, Jay Ryan played that guy in this film. But Ben, what's his name, Hanson Khan or whatever? Anyway, Ben, he was the guy that was doing Mike's role in the first movie. They changed it around. And now in this movie, it's like they went and reversed it and gave all the guy who was spending the time in the library the role back to Mike. Now Mike is taking over that realm. And I'm like, now I'm confused. Ben would have been the guy that was doing all the research. It baffles me. But the guy who did it from the old Smiley Spice commercial, sorry, not a good whistler. But yeah, he was actually good in the film. Bill Hader steals the show. As I told you 3 weeks ago, he steals the show. That's it. It's the Bill Hader show. Oh yeah, the hoodie, and on the back of the hoodie, boom. Actually, a line from the movie is in there. In the book, Mike is the historian because he's from Derry. So why would this guy in the first movie, that didn't make any sense because this guy just moved to the town. That's why they were beating him up. How is he a historian and he just moved to the damn town? So it didn't make any sense. So now Mike, who lived there his entire life in Derry, he's the historian on the Derry history. So now in this movie, they kind of got Mike doing what he should have been doing in the first movie. Yes, the only black kid in the movie. I kind of don't. I don't want to say nothing, but it's a typical thing. What happens to a black guy in a movie? You know. Let me just say that right now in Hollywood, there's some things I can't say that I really want to. Um, yeah, Bill as Richie was perfect. Bill and like they say, Richie and Eddie, those two, they worked very well together. And I don't even know who James Ranson really is. I may have seen him in a movie before, but he played a great Eddie. He really captured the character of the younger Eddie. So I think they did a great job there. Jessica Chastain did not play like the younger Beverly, even though she was older. I don't know if this is the direction that the director wanted them to do. And her and McAvoy was not great at all in this film. And I don't know if this is from the director's point of view or what happened here. But it's confusing to me because they're supposed to, I guess, they had a little thing, a chemistry between the two in the first movie. And now it's a little different. I just can't, I'm dancing around rule breakers. So I'm wait to my unreleased version of this. My score for the movie out of 4 stars, I give it 3. It gets 3 stars out of 4. The imaging in here is incredible. The scenes that they have with Pennywise are incredible. Some are terrifying. Like they got a couple of scenes that I don't think they meant it to be that terrifying. I'm like, whew, that was a shock. Because you think you know something, then you don't. That was scary. And a lot of people were terrified, but I was probably going to pee on myself after seeing that. And I'm like, oh, I hope the rest of the movie ain't like this. I'm going to just run. So it was like maybe 1 or 2 things in there, but I think the first one is definitely scarier and it's more of a complete film. Well, you got to look at it like it's set up like this is Stephen King. Bill is Stephen King. He wrote the story with himself included in it. In the book, Bill is a guy who's a writer, but he could never come up with a great ending for his books. And that's what was said about Stephen King his whole career. He can never come up with a great ending. And this was one of them in it. Like, see, you don't know how to end anything, Stephen King. Your endings always suck. So let's just say This film plays out a lot like the book. Don't worry, just give me a couple of days. Then once this thing is out, I'll be able to let loose. I'm trying not to do anything bad here. I'm just giving you guys a good synopsis of it, and so you can check it out. It's definitely watchable. It's definitely watchable. You will enjoy the film. It is a good film, but it's not what it could have been. I thought that they stayed too much to the book, and they took some of the flaws from the book and put that into the film. I will elaborate a lot more. A lot more. And just give me a couple of days and I will be able to really lay in to this film the way I want to. My fear of clowns is different. Like, I'm not going to crawl into a ball. I just feel a lot better when they're not around. And if there's a clown standing right there in front of me and he's coming towards me, that's when I go, and it's cyclone time. This is a cyclone. I have weapons like this all around the house. This will leave a lot more than scratch marks under tears of a clown. See no motherfucker. I got a lot of devices. I told y'all I don't play. Cyclone, baby. Keep a cyclone with me everywhere I go. Well, I don't know how to tell you this, B, but it follows the book. Is it scary? It has some scary scenes. It's not, to me, they don't show Pennywise enough in this film. That is a real detraction for me when you don't show Pennywise enough. Pennywise is the most terrifying thing in there. I just don't think in a 3-hour film I seen Pennywise enough. That's not a good sign. It's 3 hours long. And the Skittles crew make their way known in this film, but my gosh. He survived his fall down the well. Yes. Henry Bowers survived his fall. He's in a mental hospital for killing his parents. He's been blamed for all the murders in Derry. And they put him in a crazy house. And he was fine until Pennywise seems to want to get his attention again. And he starts losing it. You see a little clip of it in the trailer when the balloon's going by. And that's when he freaks out and has an episode. And he hadn't had an episode in 27 years. And then all of a sudden, he sees the balloon again and he freaks out. And that's because Pennywise needs his services. It's a whole different, I can't. Y'all almost got me talking. I'm gonna get out of here now before I get in trouble.